Hello everybody. My name is Chirp, and today I'll be running Grand Theft Auto 3, the definitive edition, any percent category for y'all at today's Shots Fired. And it seems that I've done some miraculous glitch, which I haven't pulled off in months. And now I'm gonna give my word to Fedzer to introduce himself, obviously. So go ahead.
Hello everyone, I am Churp64. Much like Chirp here, I'm a runner for GTA 3 The Definitive Edition. Today I'll be your primary commentator, and I hope we're able to bring you an enjoyable experience. A good run.
Right, and the timer starts basically in the first cutscene right after this loading screen, after pressing confirm in the new game section here. So right about now. Right, so...
There we go, good luck.
Thank you very much. So any percent, what is any percent in this game? Basically beat the game as fast as possible using any glitches. If you guys are familiar with like the any percent duplex run from the original Grand Theft Auto 3, this is quite similar, I would say, to Definitive Edition as well. There's no replays whatsoever. However, we do have like other techniques that we use throughout the whole run. So we have like two techniques actually. So I'm gonna let Fedzer talk about them right now.
So the two main techniques that we use throughout the 80% speedrun, what you're seeing right here is, you'll notice Chirp's flicking his camera around a lot. And essentially, if there's vehicles that are more than 2 car lengths ahead in front of him, he can flick the camera out of view of those vehicles and they will despawn. This applies to all vehicles, I believe, except for emergency vehicles such as police cars, ambulances, and so on and so forth, stuff like that. So, that's the first thing. You're going to see that all the time. It can be a little bit disorienting, so I apologize in advance for that. The other thing you're going to see is something called the weapon swap glitch. It's going to look like Claude, the character you play as, is sprinting really fast. And essentially what's happening, if you wield... Hold on. Oh, there's a problem.
I can take over if you wish.
The stream's froze. Hang on.
Really? Oh crap.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Wait there.
So basically, can I talk about the weapon swap glitch? Or
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, if you have a pistol or a micro Uzi in this game, you can swap between your fists and the pistol or the Uzi, depending on what you have at your disposal at this point, at literally any point in time. But, oh yeah, nice stutter, by the way. The essential thing about this whole technique is that you must be on foot. And what essentially happens is that if you continuously swap between your fist and the pistol or the Uzi, depending on what you have, Claude is gonna become literally Sonic the Hedgehog, and he's just gonna sprint on the roads of Liberty City. You essentially can be faster than traffic, believe it or not. Mostly than, you know, very slow cars. I mean, you can be mostly faster than most slow cars in the game, but yeah. That was the first mission, Give Me Liberty and Luigi's Girls, a pretty straightforward drive. And now we're in Don't Spank My Bitch Up. The game tells me that I have to pick up that baseball bat, but you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just instead gonna drive to this green marker on the map. Because there's a person who's selling drugs to Luigi's Girls and we need to take care of him. The first few missions in the run are pretty straightforward. It's just driving around from point A to point B. Nothing really fancy, I suppose. There's also a bit of action right here. We just ran over an innocent woman and you know, the drug dealer, and now we're just taking this stallion, probably the worst vehicle when it comes to like handling it at high speeds. I really hate the stallion very much. And we need to go to the pay and spray. We're also going to be introduced to the first mechanic in the game where we get to spend money, but not really in this mission because it's an introductory mission after all. And right now we're at pay and spray, and normally if you want to spray your car, you need a minimum of $1,000. But since we are in this mission, we don't get charged at all, and you know, the spray of the car is you know, free of charge, obviously. Right, so what I'm gonna try to do now is I'm gonna look for a police officer, if I can manage to find one. Okay, there's a cop car, that's very nice. So what we're essentially doing is I'm gonna run this... Oh god. I can't run him over, I'm so bad. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna run him over, I'm gonna take the pistol. I'm gonna go back in my stallion. and just ignore these police officers, but I kind of want them to like... Okay, never mind. They won't get back in. I'm just gonna wait for this cop car to come towards me. Come on, officer, you're taking your time. And now I'm just hoping that I won't get stuck in the garage. There we go. Easy clap. Alright, so now we're just gonna get this police car, because you can also like take these cop cars at the police station, but I don't really recommend that you do so, because you know, most of the time these cop cars at the police station can be locked, and I just prefer to have like a cop car as soon as I am done with this mission. And apparently I have 4 stars. This is very chaotic. I've never had 4 stars here before. This is amazing. Oh yeah, and there is also another technique regarding the autosaves as well. So would you like to talk about the autosaves in general?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, so the autosaves are going to be used a little bit later on for something that's called the 30k rocket strat. We're going to use something called on mission 0, which I'll explain. Sorry, give me a sec.
Yeah, it's okay. So Feather there actually mentioned the... What the hell is happening? Okay, I'm actually gonna reload the mission and gonna get rid of my wanted level, because apparently these cops can be like quite aggressive, I would say. So it would just be better to reload the autosave. Right, I actually told him to talk about the autosave, but I'm gonna take a bit over here. So basically, after finishing a mission, you can I mean, you always get an autosave, as you may know, because you know, these games are based on like the mobile ports, which released like 10 years ago on iPhone and Android. And normally you would get an autosave after finishing a mission, or after triggering a side mission. After triggering a side mission. My bad on the commentary there. So if you basically, let's say, you trigger Vigilante or Paramedic or any other side mission, as a matter of fact, you are being granted an autosave. Simple as that. And this is this mission done. Another pretty straightforward mission where we just drop off Misty at Joey's garage. And this is also a new character we're introduced to. You didn't see him in the cutscene. And before I start this mission, I'm actually gonna stay in my car and you know, start the mission while in the vehicle, because this is for some reason the only mission in the game where you can actually start it while you're inside any vehicle. As a matter of fact, you don't need to be on foot for some reason. And this does not apply to every mission in the game, so like I said, this is the only mission in the game where you can start it while in a vehicle. Yeah.
Chirp and stream, I apologize for that. Something came up that I didn't expect, but I'm here now. I won't be going away.
Welcome back, Mr. Commentator.
Thank you, thank you. Okay.
So what we're doing here, tell us, what is the strat?
Oh, right, okay. so essentially what Chirp's doing here is he's not taking the road like a good driver would, let's say. He's gonna go past Salvatore's mansion. That's a character we're gonna meet a little bit later on, and drive off the side of the hill like a madman. But because Chirp's got godlike skills, he can drive off without damaging his vehicle at all. And it's a very risky move in this mission, because you can't damage your vehicle at all. Otherwise, you've got to go to the paint spray and get it repaired, and that wastes loads of time. That's something we don't need. But Chirp pulled it off magnificently, as you just saw. And I would say this mission's been done pretty flawless so far.
Yeah, and a fun fact for you guys about this mission is the fact that the game devs actually made it so that the odds of you crashing or like damaging this car are like much lower than in free roam, because yeah, you wouldn't want to be going to pay and spray like all the time. That's why they made it so that the odds of actually getting this Idaho damage when you know, colliding against a wall, let's say, are much lower than usual for some reason. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Right, so we just rigged this Idaho with a car, and this guy is about to get blown up, as you see. And there's a bit of irony here, because as you can see on this sign with Marco's Bistro, it says "Eat until you explode," and there's a bit of irony involved here, because let's say that this guy is pretty chubby, as you can see. His name is Mike Lips, so he is pretty chubby in general, and he just got blown up as soon as he got into his car. So let's say that he got blown up because he ate too much, although that's not really the case. Right, so farewell Chunky Chong. The next mission, pretty straightforward. We just need to take care of a chef that's selling spaghetti or just spank, I suppose, on the streets of Chinatown. And there's a pretty small and cool strat here. So basically there's a cutscene trigger here. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna stay beneath the cutscene trigger, and with a few precision shots we can kill that person, Chunky Lee. You can also get lucky and just, you know, require a shot to kill him, so you can like die instantly in one shot. Right, so Van Heist, probably one of the most heavy reset missions in the game, and Cesar, would you like to talk a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Van Heist is it's a little bit of a strange mission. It's not too bad, but the cops are probably the most annoying thing about this. Okay, so essentially with Van Heist, this van here that Churp just parked in front of, he can go one of two routes. He can either come down this road or he can go down the road behind us. We want the one behind us because that's closer to where we would normally, that's closer to where we have to drive to after we steal the van. The strat you just saw Chirp do is he uses his police car to, he parks up about a car length in front of it, he blows that up, and that does just enough damage to the truck to the point where the driver gets out and then you can steal it. Usually you would have to ram it for like 5 minutes straight. He didn't get the best outcome possible, but he got a pretty decent one, I'd say. Sometimes as well, a cop can just spawn on top of you and bust you as soon as you get in the vehicle, and that's really annoying.
Oh no.
And that's why it's very reset-centric.
Oh no, I just encountered a solid ped. Would you like to talk about them as well?
That's another thing we should explain. Yeah.
Oh my
so,
goodness.
in this game, actually, I should probably explain the engine first. Sure. Essentially, these games, the Definitive Edition, are running on an engine called Renderware, which is what the game's launched with back in, well, for this case at least, 2001. And when Definitive Edition released, the games were marketed as running on Unreal Engine 4, which they are, but the Unreal Engine 4 is an overlay on top of Renderware. So the games think they're running on Renderware, but UE4 thinks it's just running on UE4, if that makes sense. Yeah. And essentially what's happening is because in a game like this, the physics are tied to the frame rate, and Chirp's playing at 60 frames instead of 30, you can get awkward little bugs like the solid ped glitch, and sometimes some peds will be solid like a brick wall and make your car catch fire, which is what you've seen as Chirp failed this mission. And sometimes they can just be normal, and you can run them over flat like they're a very soft sponge.
Right, thank you very much. So that was Van Heist. Quite unfortunate that we died from a solid ped, and what I'm doing now is I killed 4 pedestrians, 2 more than usual, to get this ambulance to come towards me. And I'll be using this ambulance for a glitch called On Mission 0 in the game. And it's essentially some sort of duping where, yeah, Fedzer, you can describe to us.
Yeah,
but
sure,
before
no
that, before that, like I talked about, when I talked about the autosaves, I said that, you know, you get an autosave after triggering any side mission of some sort, so like paramedic or vigilante. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna trigger paramedic right now, and I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm also, what I'm doing right now is some sort of backup save, because if I'm failing this glitch, then the run is pretty much over. I don't usually do this run in like official runs, but I'm doing this for the purposes of this marathon. And yeah, Fezzer, you can talk about On Mission 0 right now.
Okay, so on Mission 0, the basics of it at least, essentially what's going to happen here is, you see Chirp's got an ambulance, and because the ambulance is one of, is it 3 vehicles or 2, which have a submission function? Is it 4? Oh right, of course, my bad.
I got it, let's go.
You got it, well done, well done. That was good, that was really good.
First try.
To explain it, essentially what's happening is if he parks the ambulance in such a way and he times it just right, he can start paramedic and the rampage at the exact same time. And what this does is it puts him on mission 1, which is when the game thinks you're on a mission, everything's locked, you can't do anything. And then if he disables paramedic, it puts him on mission 0, so the game thinks he's not on a mission. And then essentially what that does is allows him to keep the rampage running, which gives him infinite rockets. He doesn't actually have infinite rockets, he has around 30,000, but you can't see the ammo count while you're on the rampage. And to keep them, all he's got to do is complete Cipriani's chauffeur before the rampage runs out. If he does that, he can then reload the autosave, and he'll keep all the RPG ammo while not being on the rampage anymore. It's a very effective strat used throughout the run, and you'll see that a little bit later on. But yeah, very hard to do, and Churp pulled off magnificently once again.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that I pulled it off in like literally my first attempt. So that backup save that I just did was entirely pointless. But I think I may have to like reload the autosave and redo this mission because I don't think I'll have enough time to like reload the autosave upon finishing here. I think Tony is gonna take his time. Should I reload for safety?
I think you might be okay. It might be very close though. Oh no.
Please, Tony.
The car. No.
I don't think this will work.
18, 17.
So if I hear at least 9 beeps like this one, book, I should be fine. Come on, please, Tony, please be fast.
8, 7.
Oh my
6.
God! One more.
Yeah, you've got it.
Okay.
Well done.
That was a bit of an overreaction.
Phew.
I'm sorry. I just got super excited. Right, so that was on mission 0 and also Cipriani chauffeur. Right now on taking out the laundry, probably one of the worst missions when it comes to RNG. There's basically 3 vans that are driving around town carrying laundry and stuff. And we need to take care of them, and from what I can see, the RNG is quite pleasing here, I would say. Like the cars are quite close to each other, so this shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, like Feather said, on mission 0, so like this 30k rocket strat will save a lot of time throughout the whole run, because essentially in some missions you use grenades and you can simply just use the RPG instead. But for this mission, in for example, most runners who don't do the 30k rocket strat, they usually just go to ammunition and they buy an Uzi, or since you have like a cop car from earlier, you get 5 shotgun bullets with each entry in like a police car. And you would use the shotgun when you're like up close to these vans, obviously, and just blow them up. But since I have the RPG, I'm just gonna do this, and yeah, simple as that. We just passed the mission.
Well done.
Thank you very much. As you can see, there's still Luigi and Joey on the map, but we're not doing these missions because this is any % after all. And the current missions that you know, you see are entirely optional at this point. So yeah, in any % we just do the missions that you're gonna see in this run. So we're just skipping Luigi and Joey forever and ever for the rest of this run. Right, so the pickup. Yeah, go ahead.
Go on. I was just gonna say, weirdly enough, unlike some of the future counterparts of these games, GTA 3, a lot of the main storyline missions are actually optional, and I didn't learn about that until I started learning the run for this game. Very strange design choice on Rockstar's part, but I'm not going to argue with it. It just makes the run faster, and we want to be faster in speedrunning.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pickup here that Churp's doing right now, essentially he needs to try and jump onto one of these benches at the back here, and he's going to use the RPG to kill all the triads. And it's a very risky strat, but Churp's had a lot of practice, as you can tell. Looks like he's pulled this off. That was perfect, I would say, actually. That was really good.
I actually shot an extra rocket, so it was near perfect. Yeah.
Near flawless, then. We'll take that.
Yeah, that was pretty good, I would say. I'm pleased with my execution. Very nice.
We're all very proud of you.
Yup. Especially you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that was the whole mission. Pretty action-packed, I would say. We used the RPG quite a bit as well, just like in taking out the laundry, but instead of just blowing up vehicles, we just, you know, blow up pedestrians in this game, or not, triads. And the triads are like the bad people, or like one of the worst gangs in GTA 3, for those familiar with the game, that is. Right, Salvatore's called a meeting, a very, I wouldn't say straightforward, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just like a simple drive in multiple locations, because what we're essentially doing here is we're gonna go to Joey's garage and we're gonna pick up a limo. I was gonna say limousine.
Same thing.
Yeah, obviously. So there's this black limo, and Joey's about to come now in a suit. We're essentially gonna pick Joey, Luigi, and Tony up from their places, and The next person who we need to pick up in this scenario is obviously Luigi, so we're gonna go to his sex club right now with some precision driving. Gonna despawn more traffic. Oh yeah, another thing about this technique of despawning traffic is that not only you despawn traffic, but you also despawn pedestrians. I don't think you mentioned that earlier.
I didn't. No, I apologize for that.
Yeah. And this is very... sorry. And this is very helpful for this mission because we're gonna do a little shortcut in like the next 10 seconds, I would say. We're essentially gonna go with this limo over a small staircase, and we're gonna despawn some pedestrians in this small gangway. And there is the stairs here. There's usually a lot of pets, so that's why I despawn pedestrians in the first place. And what did you want to say, Fezzer? I'm sorry for...
That's all I was going to say, because despawning the pets is really essential on this mission, so I definitely should have explained that earlier. Because if you run over a pet on this mission, you're probably more likely to get a star than not, like a wanted level. And if you do, you can't pick up any of the Mafia members. And so that loses you a lot of time. So yeah, Churp pulled that off really well.
Yep. And this is mediocre. I mean, not mediocre RNG. I just made it. Oh no!
Pretty average. Oh no, never mind.
What is happening?
They don't like you today.
It started raining. That's because I'm slower. So basically, the weather cycles in this game are pretty much the same after like pressing new game. So you're most likely, or like you're always gonna have rain here during the mission. Or if you're faster, you're gonna get rain in the next mission, which is Chaperone. So we just finished Salvatore's call to meeting. Simple as that. And as soon as this cutscene ends, we're gonna do the weapon swap glitch, get in Salvatore's mansion, and start the next mission, which is Chaperone. Oddly enough, Salvatore's missions can be started upon entering his mansion, so you don't need to like go in the blue marker and start the mission just as that, like in any other scenarios. So we're just gonna go in his mansion and start the mission like that. Right, Chaperone. Another straightforward mission and a bit action-packed later on. What we're doing now is we're gonna drive to a drug dealer on the streets of Portland named Chico, who's also Maria's drug dealer. So yeah, we have Maria here, a new character that we're being introduced to, and now these guys are talking about Spank, which is the famous drug of Liberty City. But what Maria is, Maria is interested in the drugs, but in addition, the next mission objective is that Chico tells us about a warehouse party that it's it's gonna take place like about now in a warehouse in Atlantic Keys. So we're just gonna drive there. Simple as that. We dealt with Chico. You can also kill him, but only after the cutscene. Like, if you kill him before the cutscene, you obviously mission failed. But a thing that I had wished that had been a thing, if it had been a thing in like the actual game, like vanilla, would be to just straight up drive to the warehouse party, and simple as that. Like, if you guys are familiar with the GTA 3 Toughen mod, not gonna give you spoilers, but you can actually just drive here without any issues. You don't need to go to Chico at all. And I parked my limo with like the back, so yeah, that's the minimum that you can do with like the parking, so that I can get Maria closer to like the entrance of the warehouse. And in the meantime, I'm also gonna get my door off as well. Gonna wait here for a bit, and the next cutscene should start about now. There it is. Very nice. We're being ambushed by a SWAT convoy, let's say. I mean, it's not a convoy, but like the SWAT team. And we're gonna pay attention. We're gonna pay close attention to the entrance here. So as soon as I see the second Mafia guy coming out, which is this one, we're gonna run him over, pick up Maria, and just as that, we have one more drive up until we get to Salvatore's mansion. There's also a bit of RNG involved, so if you wish to describe the RNG in this mission, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, you just saw a little bit of it back there. When Churp ran over the second Mafia member, he was a semi-solid pet, is what we would usually call it. And sometimes, as I was saying earlier, the peds can be like really solid, and you can just get stuck there, and then the police can come around the corner, they can corner you and start ramming you and everything. It's just an awful bad experience. As for the drive, depending on how the police are, okay, well that was kind of a bad spawn, but not too bad. You got decent RNG here, but sometimes the police can be really aggressive, and multiple cars can spawn and just ram you off the road and all sorts. And
block your way as well.
yeah, quite frustrating. There's a lot of minor annoyances in regards to RNG through this run, so getting a PB can be quite tedious, especially if you have a good time. But yeah, again, Churp pulled this off pretty well, I would say. So well done.
Yeah, I consider that was an actual decent chap run in my book, so I'll take it. The next mission is cutting the grass. There is a small skip that we do here, which saves around a minute, I believe. So we're not gonna pick up any regular car like that Mafia Sentinel right there. We're essentially gonna weapon swap glitch our way to get to this taxi, and then down this road we're gonna stop like halfway through, so about here. Doesn't really matter where you stop anyway. And we're gonna go to this spot where you can find an AK-47 and an armor pickup, but we're not gonna use the AK at all. Although it can be useful throughout the run if you don't do the 30k rocket strat. So essentially in cutting the grass, what you want to do, you get like, you know, to become an actual speedrunner of this mission, let's say. In a speedrun fashion, you want to get a taxi, which always spawns like up there next to Salvatore's mansion. It's a consistent spawn, by the way. And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna get this passenger door off because we need to pick up a person named Curly Bob from Luigi's Sex Club. So let me just go between these vehicles. And there's Curly Bob. I made it in time. Let's hope he actually gets in. This is pretty monk, guys, but he actually got in, so yeah, I took my time a bit there. He usually is like still in like the alleyway, like far back when I get to the club, but this time around I was actually a bit slower, but still made it in time. So yeah, I mean, that's good enough for me, I would say.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yep, and this is just a simple drive. We drop him off at Portland Harbor, and we go on with our business. Well, actually, there's one more objective that we need to take care of. There's also an achievement for this if you decide to do this small speedrun strat with the taxi, let's say. You get an achievement where a secret achievement where you just drop them off with a cab. And now we killed them off because, yeah, we won't know why unless you play throughout the story. I'm not gonna give you spoilers if you haven't played GK3 yet, so...
I mean, I think it probably makes more sense to explain the lore, personally.
I mean, you can go ahead if you wish.
Okay, so essentially Curly Bob is one of Salvatore's guys, and he is he's leaking information about the Mafia to Miguel and Catalina. Catalina being Claude's ex-girlfriend who shot him at the bank robbery, and Miguel being her new piece on the side, I guess. And so essentially, he is giving them information, and Salvatore says, "Hey, just kill him if he's a rat." And yeah, as you just saw, Claude ran him over, and now he's dead. So rip Curly Bob.
Yeah,
always be remembered in our hearts.
The story is quite interesting in this game, even though I don't remember most of the content. But yeah, Fedzer here is Fedzer here is you know, here obviously to help us with the lore in case you know, I forget a lot of details, which most of the time I do. And right, in this mission we have 3 triad leaders that we need to take care of for Tony because he hates the triads, and so do we right now, officially at least. And that was the first triad leaders, which spawns at the fish factory. A very, I wouldn't say familiar place, but this is, you know, their base, the triads base. This and like the Chinatown area, which is this one. Yeah, if you're familiar with like New York City, that city also features, you know, an area with Chinese stuff, so Chinatown. Literally called Chinatown.
That was close. You could have easily blew up that van there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Excuse me there, by the way. I had a small burpy burp. Oh my god, this guy didn't die. Okay, now he's dead. Let's go. Sometimes that last triad leader can't die from just an explosion, you have to like shoot at least 2 rockets. And the same goes with like the leader from you know, the fish factory that we killed as our first target. Alright, so the next mission is Blowfish, and we're gonna leave our taxi here. We don't need it at all. And yeah, you may have figured it out until this point, like, why don't you need the car?
Okay, I've had enough.
What we're essentially doing is we're gonna skip this cutscene and sprint our way towards this purple marker on the map, which is a Trash Master. And you can talk about the mission objective if you wish.
Yeah, this is one of few missions where it's actually faster to use the weapon swap glitch to get to the objective, which is the Trash Master here, as Churp was saying. The Trash Master, this mission can be really awkward on Definitive Edition, especially if you're trying to be fast. Because, much like we were talking about with the solid peds earlier, if you can despawn them and stuff, like, that's all well and good, but sometimes you do get the odd one that doesn't despawn, and it's also harder sometimes to despawn them when you're turning around sharp corners and whatnot. And essentially, if Chirp hits one of these peds while he's driving this thing, because it's rigged with a bomb, he can very easily explode, and the game can think he's hit like a brick wall, as I was explaining earlier. So yeah, this mission can be kind of scary, but as long as he's careful and not trying to be like super speed, he should be fine.
In fairness, in my latest run attempt that I did on stream, I didn't really encounter a solid pet during Blowfish, so I consider I consider myself quite lucky. But essentially, if yeah, I'm sorry for you, bud. So if I encounter like one of these solid pets, I can either have damaged my trash truck, my Trash Master, or just instantly blow up like Fezzer said just now. We're gonna trigger the bomb now, and we're gonna leave it between these 2 gas containers, or whatever the hell they are. I don't really care much. And I'm trying my best to like get in this fish van, but apparently the game forced me out mid-cutscene. And that can also happen, so if you don't get in the vehicle in time, you can easily get out, and yeah, that's bad. We don't want that, obviously. We're taking this fish truck out of here. Fish van, I mean, it's not a truck, my bad. And we're gonna make a second to last visit to Salvatore, because this next mission is quite interesting. Not this one from Salvatore though, but the next one after this one, because this S that we see on the map, yeah, it's Salvatore Leone, and Salvatore is the leader of the Mafia family in Liberty City, or just in Portland, because that's where the Mafia usually hang out. But in St. Mark's Bistro, this is the Mafia area. And yeah, this mission from Salvatore, first of all, is just a cutscene, but it's the first part of the actual mission. So it's called Bomb the Base Act, but this is Act 1, and then we have Act 2. So this is just a cutscene. We get in it, we skip it, simple as that. We're gonna leave the fish van here. We're gonna take a Mafia Sentinel, because why not? This is a faster vehicle, obviously. I also see some familiar faces in chat, so thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate the love and the support. Also, thank you for the good luck, Viviana. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna park the Mafia Sentinel here. And we have 2 cutscenes here for Bomb the Base Act 2, so we're gonna skip this first one. We're reintroduced to 8-Ball, who needs $100,000 from us to acquire a bomb and to give us 30 sniper bullets. But guess what? Normally in a casual playthrough, you'd want to use the sniper. However, in the speedrun, we do something completely different, and I'm gonna let my buddy Fedzer talk about the strats that I'm doing.
Yeah, so this is one of the, actually, not one of the first examples of the 30k rocket strat coming across. It's like the 3rd, I believe. This one, what he's essentially going to do, well, the game wants you to go on the warehouse to our right here, and pick off all the cartels, sorry, not triads, one by one. But because Chirp has the unlimited RPG ammo, he can do the weapon swap glitch right up the front of the boat, and he can just shoot loads of RPG bullets and just pick them off. It's kind of risky because there's some invisible collision and whatnot, but Chirp knows where that stuff is, thankfully, and he should be able to execute this pretty flawlessly, I'd say. He normally gets this.
That would be some sort of a small lie, because I don't remember like the invisible collisions on this boat. Okay. I mean, I do remember like the general area, but I don't remember like the exact pixel.
Right.
So we're just gonna try our best not... Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's an example of an invisible collision right there.
Hell no.
Okay, I'm gonna take this guy with the sniper. He didn't die. Okay, he did die. Wonderful. You know, oh god. This guy did not die. Wait, I don't have a pistol. Oh crap, I ran out of pistol ammo. Okay. We're gonna need a new pistol, Mr. Fetzer. Oh no.
Well, that is quite unlucky actually for this mission.
Yeah, because
But,
I normally need the pistol to like weapon swap glitch my way out of here towards the Mafia Sentinel.
you
But
can go to ammunition during Serenade Salvatore.
you know, I'm gonna do something better than that. I'm actually gonna rely on Mafia dudes RNG again.
Oh, fair, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna... Yeah, that was the mission. We just blew up a ship for some reason that I can't really think of because I don't remember the story. I'm so bad. We're gonna... Okay, there's a Mafia person here. Wonderful. Wait. I'm gonna kill him with a shotgun. Not gonna get a wanted level.
Essentially...
Even though, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Even though there's like a cop here. You can go on.
Essentially, the cargo ship that we just blew up is the Colombian cartels. It's their basis of operation, kind of, and in all those the shipment containers. I can't think of the name for some reason.
It's okay.
It's basically just filled with spank, and obviously the mafia doesn't like that, and we don't like that, and we're trying to get rid of it all. So now we've taught the triads and the cartel a good lesson, but unfortunately, that's not the last we will see of the cartel, as you'll see a bit later on.
Right. And this is also the last mission from Salvatore. And also, as a matter of fact, the last mission that we do, like, that we take from Portland. Not the last mission that we do on Portland, however. So essentially, Salvatore tells us that we need to take this cheetah to a crusher, which is in, like, the north part of Portland. However, what you may not know is that it's rigged, and unless you read the pager message that you receive, when getting close to the cheetah here, yeah, you're gonna get blown up on your first attempt, obviously. So you might be wondering why that cheetah is like rigged with a bomb in the first place, and I'm actually gonna let Fezzer talk about this one, and also the upcoming mission, which is Sayonara Salvatore.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so essentially, if you've played Liberty City Stories in San Andreas, then you'll understand that Salvatore, I was going to say Chirp, Salvatore is a very paranoid character as leader of the Mafia. And when Claude took Maria out to buy her drugs and go to the White House party, Salvatore starts getting paranoid because Maria keeps making comments about Claude, probably saying that he's like cute and he's nice to be around and, you know, whatnot. And Salvatore begins to think that her and Claude are actually having a fling behind his back. And so, because Claude's such a powerful weapon for the Mafia, he offers Claude to the cartel to make a deal, a sort of peace treaty of sorts, I guess.
A truce,
And,
I would call it.
Oh, what, sorry?
A truce.
But yeah, sure, something like that. And that's good for the cartel, obviously, because I'd say Claude's a very powerful weapon for the Mafia. And but Maria doesn't like that, and Maria has feelings for Claude now, so Maria warns Claude ahead of time. And that's what the pager was about. And now this mission, Serenade Salvatore, which is where we kill Salvatore, head of the Mafia, Chirp is going to drive to the one end of Staunton Island here, and he's going to pick up a armor and M16 that's hidden. And then he's going to drive to Portland, back to Luigi's Club, and he's going to do a strat that I will explain once he gets there.
Right, and in the meantime, before we actually get to the M16 pickup, which is right around the corner, we're also looking for any fast car, preferably a Banshee, but because we're gonna use it for a later mission in the game, or we're just gonna use it like pretty much for 4 missions or 5 missions. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, at this location here, you can also find like an M16 and an armor pickup. So yeah, if you want to get your hands on like probably one of the most broken weapons in the game, then you can come here and get it as well. But yeah, go ahead.
The M16 in this game is really strange because the developers, they broke the fire rate on the M16, so it's super quick, very overpowered. And if any enemies are wielding the gun, they don't have recoil, and they can kill you pretty much instantly. In the game, they expect you to aim down sight and use the recoil, which is well, it's horrible. It's very horrible to control. But if you just hold the shoot button instead, you get a different kind of aim function, and you can shoot it like the enemies do with basically no recoil. So it's very nice. Chirp doesn't actually do that for this mission because it's easier to actually be precise and just fire a few bullets rather than spraying the clip. But you'll see that in just a moment.
Yeah, and I went to the ammunition here to get my hands on an Uzi because it's very helpful for drive-by situations, which are probably gonna come later in some of the mid-game missions, let's say. Not now, but it's always handy to have an Uzi at your disposal at all times. The game telling me that the game actually hopes that I love this, or like I like this color. I actually quite like it. Like, this is a bright red apple color. I love it. I like red in general. Okay, so nice. We're gonna get this door off from the Banshee. Yeah, you can actually punch and damage vehicles in this game, unlike in the original game where you just don't damage them at all. This function was only introduced in Vice City. But yeah, we're gonna stand in front of this green door at Luigi's Sex Club, and there's gonna be like a few mafia dudes coming out of here, and we're gonna headshot them all without getting shot at, hopefully, or just blasted away by this shotgun dude. Unfortunately, though, I got blasted away, but not a biggie. Just headshot Salvatore because he can be a solid head sometimes, which is very infuriating. I actually lost a few runs to him being a solid head, and from now on, I just try my best to like headshot him with an M16 because it's like the safest way to end the mission. Yeah, we just got. We took care of the mafia leader, and right now we're working for a different character named Asuka, who's I wouldn't say she's not the leader of like the Yakuza family. Her brother actually is. His name is Kenji, who we're not really gonna meet in the run. You won't even know how he looks like. But yeah,
we can explain Kenji later, but Asuka is essentially kind of like a manager of the Yakuza of sorts.
Yeah. You could say that.
You want a license too?
I'm actually gonna get another armor here because why not? Okay. Yeah, so that was the mission, and just gonna slow down here. Oh yeah, floating leaves. You can actually see them. Definitive edition, people. This is definitive, right? But we're not gonna talk about this. We don't want to expose Grove Street Games for their marvelous job at trying to remaster these good old jams of the games that came out like 2 decades ago. Oh my goodness, why did I do that? Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
It's worth noting that Chirp runs the game on pretty much a day one patch. Not quite day one, but near enough day one.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff that's patched now isn't patched in his version. Another thing you saw as he was driving up the road from Asuka, there's a big, it's like a big piece of collision that has, well, it's a big texture that has no collision, and that's also patched later, but yeah, it's worth noting at least.
And there's been a decent amount of like bug fixes in like the latest patch, but then again, I don't play on the latest patch because it's the worst for speedrunning. From what I've heard, it actually patches the weapon swap glitch on PC as well. And also, a fun fact for you guys, on the day 2 patch, or like, yeah, the day 2 patch, so the patch right after day 1, they basically fixed the weapon swap glitch on the console ports. Not on PC, however, the glitch is like still present. However, I don't think it's present in the current latest patch, so I might be wrong about that.
I heard something about it being patched in 1.045. I personally run 1.04, and I can confirm that the weapon swap glitch on the keyboard still works fine in that version. Everything works fine in that version, except the ASL's a bit glitchy sometimes.
Yeah, it's just that it doesn't work on controller, which is quite disappointing, to say the least. But that was under surveillance. You would normally use a sniper rifle for the guys on like that building, but since we have an RPG, we can just blast them away. Paparazzi Purge is a very fast mission, I would say. It takes like 10 seconds for me to finish it. So there's this boat, and we're gonna stay here at Asuka's condo, equip our RPG, and with 2 precise shots, we can actually blast away the boat, just like that. You'd normally use a police boat to, you know, waste the blow up the boat. I
handsome
mean, but yeah,
handyman.
I use the RPG instead because it's obviously faster. Yeah, in a speedrunning fashion, you'd want to do that. Or an alternative would be to just go on this pier, which is below Asuka's condo, and shoot with your M16 towards the boat, and just essentially blow it up.
Yeah, that's the ultimate strat that runners who don't do the 30k rocket strat do. I don't do the 30k rocket strat at the moment, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Want to talk about Payday for Ray for a
Yeah,
bit.
okay. So Payday for Ray, pretty straightforward mission. And it's where we can actually start discussing the differences between the definitive edition and the original. So in this mission, basically you just have to go to a bunch of different payphones, and Ray Machowski, who's on the other end of the line using some sort of voice changer, is telling you to go to a bunch of different ones to, I guess, to test your loyalty or to make sure it's not traced or something like that. And he's very paranoid, corrupt cop, and we're gonna meet him very soon. What I did want to mention though is in the original, the timer for this mission is actually way shorter than it is in the definitive edition, because the definitive edition is based on the mobile ports, which were released in 2011, 2012, and 2014 respectively.
10 years after the original release on console. Pretty much.
Yeah. And so everything, well, not everything, some things were just made easier. They were nerfed a little bit. And there's another one coming up a bit later on in A Drop in the Ocean, which I'll explain when we get there. But yeah, casually this mission in the original, as I was saying, is kind of difficult. But in Definitive Edition, it's very straightforward, very easy, and also very easy in the speedrun because we're even faster. Not sure why they didn't change that for Definitive Edition. Probably just one of many oversights from Grove Street Games, but worth noting at least. Quite interesting.
And instead of 3 minutes, you actually get 3.5 minutes to do this mission, I believe, in Definitive. And you get 3 minutes in the original, or how was it? I don't remember.
I thought it was less than 3, but I couldn't tell you specifically. I'm really not sure.
It couldn't have been 2:30. I don't remember. I haven't played the original in such a long time.
Yeah, it's not important, but it's still shorter anyway.
Yeah, and this is also a good time to hydrate, so go ahead and do it, guys. It's very important to keep you alive. And I mean, you can also use like other sources to hydrate yourself, like sodas and stuff, but I just prefer water. I'm not a soda person much. Anyways, that was Payday Foray. Pretty easy in a speedrun. You just have to be fast, and that's it. And right now, as soon as we end this mission, we're also gonna get the autosave, like I explained earlier. I'm actually gonna reload it right now because there's a mission in between missions. So like after you finish a mission, there's like a small 10-second delay before you start the next one. And I got busted. Wow, dude. Yeah, so
that's unlucky.
So what happened there? Why did I get a wanted level, you may wonder? So it's because I reloaded the autosave. So like the game is confused whether... Okay, the Banshee despawned. Nice. The game gets confused whether the Banshee is my actual car or not. But because I reloaded the autosave, the game thinks that, hey, this is not your vehicle anymore. And yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh god, I'm gonna get this in furnace. Simple as that. Oh my god, what is happening? There's a bunch of chaos. But yeah, we're gonna take this in furnace. I would have preferred to keep that Banshee, but it wasn't the case. Apparently the RNG gods don't approve of my speedrun strats. Anyways, yeah, silence the sneak. We're gonna get out of our vehicle here. Ray gives us a few grenades, as you can see right here, but we're not gonna use them. We're just gonna use... Oh, hold up. We're gonna use the RPG, simple as that, to blow up this apartment, or just this room, I suppose, and then blow up this car where Leon McCaffrey is in. Leon McCaffrey is also another, I wouldn't say famous, but he's a well-known character from GTA Liberty City Stories, so that, we don't know much about him in this game other than the fact that he's a rat and he turned on Ray or something, or like, yeah, you could say that he kind of betrayed Ray. Okay, I accidentally jumped there. You don't want to be jumping towards the mission marker, otherwise there's gonna be like a small delay. So yeah, just walk. Anyways, arm shortage. Quite another one of those quite heavy action-packed missions where we go to this army base where you know, we're gonna be introduced to a new character, Phil Cassidy, And if you wish to talk about him, Feather, you can go ahead and end this mission as well.
Okay, so Arm Shortage, the mission name, like a lot of missions in this game, it's like a play on words of sorts, because Phil Cassidy's missing an arm, and you're also pretty short on weapons, well, kind of. And so this is Phil Cassidy, who is a character we meet more in depth in Vice City, and as you'll notice, he's missing his left arm. And I'm not sure why Rockstar decided to do this, but in Vice City, it's his right arm that is missing. We find out why that blows up in Vice City. Gets blown off, sorry. He says in GTA 3 that he lost it in, like, the army or whatever. But in Vice City, we find out that's not the case. Whether these are actually the same character or not, it's never really explicitly clarified. But everyone just assumes it is, and it's just kind of like a wall change.
The thing about Phil
Or maybe
Cassidy...
he's just playing, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off there. So, basically, you couldn't say that this is the actual Phil Cassidy because he doesn't look like Phil Cassidy from Vice City. Like, the pet models are completely different, and so are, like, the voice actors, I believe. They're completely different. Like, the voices are, you know, different.
Yeah.
But what you need the extra details about the lore. We're here to speedrun the game. We don't care about the story much. Although, we do explain the lore here and there, so... yeah, that's not too bad. Right, next mission coming right up is Evidence Dash. And, oh my god, whenever I talk about it, I usually puke. So I'm actually gonna let Fetzer explain why this mission sucks ass.
So, to start off with, Chirp's going to try and get a Banshee here, because the Banshee in this game is the fastest and strongest vehicle at the same time. Right, okay, that sounds like I've worded that wrong. It's both the fastest and strongest, but it's not the fastest or strongest, if that makes sense. It just has both those values, the highest for what we need them to be. And so he needs the Banshee because he needs to ram this Bobcat off the road a bunch of times to get it to drop these spank packages. And the problem with this mission, for most people, is either the cops or the route the Bobcat takes. And here it looks like...
he's literally above me.
Yeah. So this has got to be probably the second worst route, depending on which way you take. So Chirp took a different route than I would normally do, so he got the worst outcome for him. Usually the Bobcat will drive towards Donald Love's place, which is a character we meet after this mission, which you'll see shortly. But he didn't this time, but that's fine. Chirp's getting the Bobcat to drop a lot of these packages rather quickly here, so this is pretty good, I would say, still. It's not in hot water just yet.
Yeah, because if this Bobcat goes on the water, you basically mission fail for some reason, and the game is like, hey man, this evidence needs to be burned, not drowned, or like, it doesn't need to be wet, you know?
The cops can still fish it out.
Yep. I mean, they technically can, but they don't want to do that, in fairness. And I don't blame them, because this waters, I mean, the waters of Liberty City are, you know, dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry for cutting you off again.
No, I keep doing it too. So essentially... Hold on, I've lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
Yeah, so essentially that was the mission, and the cops, as I was going to mention with the RNG, I guess they just want the packages too, but they can be really annoying. Sometimes there can be a lot of them, and they can just like keep ramming you off the road before you have a chance to hit the Bobcat. One of many missions in this game where the police can just easily screw you over, but Chirp managed to pull that off pretty decently despite the bad route he got.
Yeah. But I was ashamed that the cops were a bit trolly there, and apparently my Uzi ammo isn't as effective as it used to be in like my actual PB attempts. But whatever, more on that like another time. This is not the best time to talk about it. Right, Liberator. Another heavy action-packed mission, I would say. What we need to do now is we need to go in Fort Stun, and we need to look for the Cartel Cruiser, which is essentially the go-to-go vehicle for like the Colombian cartel gang, which is usually hanging around Fort Stun here, and also the Cedar Grove area, or yeah, Cedar Grove, and also this area on the map, which I forgot the district name of. But yeah, anyways, more on that another time. Let's talk about the mission. So we so we get a cartel cruiser, And then we go to the one of the cartel compounds around town in Staten Island. We're gonna leave the car here, and we're gonna blow up like each and every one of these cartel members with a few precise shots. And the RNG here can be a bit weird. So what we're supposed to do, is that we need to rescue an old Oriental gentleman, so an NPC, and the gentleman can spawn in either this, or that garage. And I'm gonna see if he spawns here. So yeah, he actually spawned. And the reason why I shot a rocket like around here is because I blew up the cartel member that's like, you know, guarding this old Oriental gentleman in general. And yeah, this is pretty much the whole mission. So we just rescue him, we kill a few cartel members, and then we we drive back to Donald's. Yeah, that was pretty much it. And we're also gonna keep this cartel cruiser because yeah, we need it for the upcoming mission. So we can't just simply like switch vehicles. Like let's say you have this Infernus here and you want to drive the Infernus instead. Nah, we definitely need this vehicle for the next mission, and I'm gonna let Feather explain why.
Yeah, so the next mission is Wakagashira Wipeout, and we need the cartel cruiser because casually at least the game wants us to drive up onto the multi-story car park and kill Kenji. Now Kenji is the leader of the Yakuza family. He's also the brother to Asuka, but because the cartel will believe the Yakuza are the ones who because the Yakuza will believe that the cartel were the ones who killed Kenji, Asuka doesn't know that Claude did it, and so we continue to do work for her. But in the speedrun, we don't actually kill him using the cartel cruiser. They never see it. We're using the RPG. We can just park underneath the floor they're on and shoot one of the lights with a precise shot, and that kills him. It blows up the cars and kills him pretty much instantly. And then that's basically mission passed. There's also another strat, which I feel like Churp was going to jump into there, maybe.
Yeah.
Where you can use a sniper to... you can park at like the entrance to the monster car park, and you can use a sniper to kill Kenji directly from the bottom. It's very precise, though. It's very risky. Chirp's not going to go for here, I don't think. No.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to go for like the old-fashioned strat, where we go to this light precisely, and we're going to shoot 2 rockets on like each side of the light itself. And yeah, that's Kenji out of the way. We never see him. We don't know what he looks like. He's just like, let's say, a regular NPC that we don't get to see, essentially. Yeah. And I actually didn't check if this garage had like any good cars, so yeah, I'm distracted from speaking. But hopefully I'm not gonna get trolled by too much by the cops here. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna look for a fast vehicle. So usually you get a Banshee or an Infernus here, but in this case I don't have any fast vehicles other than this Cheetah and the Banshee behind this set of cars. I'm gonna take the Banshee though because I love this car so much. Okay, and yeah, that precise that other strat with like involving the sniper and the light is very precise, and I went for it like a few times. I wouldn't recommend going for it unless you you know what you're doing. But yeah, a drop in the ocean, another mission that's been made easier in the definitive edition, like Feather said when we were in a mission Payday Foray. And yeah, Feather, would you like to share the information about this?
Yeah. Okay, so in a drop in the ocean, what's going to happen is we're going to go get a boat from the Staunton dock, and we're going to wait for a Dodo to arrive, which is going to drop smack packages across the ocean. And this is just bait from Donald Love, and it's just to test if Claude's trustworthy or not, but that's just lore that doesn't need to be said, I guess. So the thing that's different is you would normally get 5 wanted level stars in the original game, and the cops are quite a bit harder from 4 to 5 stars, believe it or not, even though it doesn't seem like a big jump. But in the definitive edition and mobile version, you only get 4 stars, and while the cops can still be a pain, they're definitely not as bad. But you will see that after Chirp does the packages here.
Yeah, but
getting off the door again.
Before that, I'm trying to get the door off. Sometimes the door cannot come off if you just punch it, so I'm just gonna do something completely different here. If Claude would mind not actually closing the door, then that would be amazing. So, okay, sure, Claude, sure. I'm actually gonna replace the Banshee. Why not?
Oh my.
What is this luck? I don't know. It's marathon luck. That's what I like to call it. Very based. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave the Banshee with the door open just like that. And we're gonna use it to get out of here, and especially after we get the packages, use the Banshee to go back to Donald's place. In the meantime, we got the speeder boat here. You'd normally, in a casual playthrough, you'd go like in Portland and get a boat from here. But, you know, we're speedrunners and we have other strategies. So we pick up a speeder from Asuka's condo, like I just did right now. And there's this dodo, which doesn't look like the dodo that we all know and hate, like red and white and with smaller wings. This is a totally different dodo for some reason. I don't know why. But, yeah, totally up to Rockstar's decision. I'm not getting involved in their decision-making about game design and stuff. And there's 6 packages here as well. And like Feather mentioned, normally after collecting all the packages, you normally get 5 stars in the original game. But since this game, since Definitive Edition is based off the mobile port, we're actually going to get 4 stars after collecting all the packages. For, you know, the mission to be a little bit easier and all that jazz. So, I'm going to get this last package, go back to the pier here, leave the boat like this. Dude, I sound like someone who makes a tutorial right now. A video guide for missions. Oh yeah, we got the door off. Very nice. And look at this cop trying to flip me over. How dare you, sir? There you go. He got his karma. But yeah. 4-star wanted level right now. And that sounds so weird the way I phrased it. But yeah, there's also chances of roadblock spawning. Yeah, I like that one.
That's one, yep.
But, you know, with some precision driving, we can actually get in between, like, the SWAT trucks and you know, avoid the police at all costs. Sadly, like mentioned in the beginning of the run, we can't despawn emergency vehicles. So, yeah, these are also emergency vehicles. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. And, yeah. This was the whole mission. Just gonna finish it, and then reload the autosave once again to get rid of the delay. And there's also one more specific reason for why we do this. So Feather, if you'd like to go ahead.
Yeah, this is a pretty recent development actually. It's I don't know if it's just been discovered, but Churp's just discovered it at least.
Like a
so
few
if you reload the autosave after you complete a drop in the ocean, for Grand Theft Aero, you can actually okay, so the Staunton Lift Bridge, which takes us to Shoreside Vale, there's a timer on the middle piece of the bridge that goes up and down, and basically if you don't reload the autosave, that will go up before you get there, pretty much no matter how fast you go. But if you do reload the autosave, you can save about 10 seconds or so. It's just as long as you're quick enough. You still have to be pretty fast, but as you can see here, he's going to get over the bridge before the middle part goes up. So yeah, nicely executed, well done.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I actually get to pull this off. And I'm actually hoping to pull this off in my very next PB, which should be a sub 120, I hope at least. Because my current PB is a 120, 37. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, that was a very nice strat that Feather explained right now. I just pulled it off magnificently. We're gonna get to the airport here, to a hangar specifically. There's some FBI troops which are lying dead on the ground here. But yeah, they're solid, so we want to avoid them at all costs. And we're being introduced to the Dodo here, which for some reason, on the PC version, there's no flying controls on keyboard and mouse. So I have to use a controller for this, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take the Dodo. We're gonna take this scenic route here. We're gonna have a weird takeoff as well. Now, yeah.
I should probably explain how the Dodo works.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
So you're not supposed to be able to fly the Dodo, but using some tech, we can manipulate it so that we can. It's very awkward to fly. As you can see, this takeoff's a bit shaky here, but he's pulled it off. Well done. So right, essentially what's happening is, if you gain some speed on like any sort of path or runway or whatever, like an normal plane, you don't pull up the nose, you push it down into the ground. And oh no. Okay, this is what I meant. The dodo is very awkward to fly, and Chirp screwed it up, unfortunately. Yeah, as I was saying, you push down on the nose until the propeller starts scraping the ground slightly, and as you let go, the plane will pitch up naturally, and then that's your takeoff. And then after that, you have to keep continuously pitching down, just a little bit each time, every couple of seconds or so, depending on how much height you want to get. And if you do that, the plane will keep pitching back up, and then, yeah, that basically enables you to maintain flight. Turning can be quite difficult with it, but with enough time, you can pretty much master it. It's very useful, I would say, but also very annoying to fly.
Yeah, like back in the day when I tried to fly it as like a kid in like the original game, dude, I would never pull it off. Like I would just take off for a few seconds, then splat into the water. Like that's the typical flying dodo experience for most of the gamers who played Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, dude, I know it's not relevant, and I'm gonna make this really quick, but just because you brought it up as well, like when I was a kid and I first learned to fly it, like I was so proud of myself for it. I was like 9 or 10 years old. I had a camcorder and I stacked it on books and I filmed myself flying it across the city, and I took it downstairs and showed it to my parents. Oh my god.
That's a good way to flex one of your gamer skills, bro.
Yeah.
I wish I could have done that.
I was very
as well.
happy about that.
But yeah, that was Grand Theft Auto. We're just gonna leave the dodo there. We don't need it anymore. We're gonna take a car. I mean, we just took one. What am I saying? And yeah, this is the last mission from Donald Love that we're doing, and we're now pretty much done with mid-game. We're now into the late game section. Although late game started as soon as Grand Theft Auto became a thing in this one, obviously. Yeah. Because we unlocked the third island. Yeah, we unlocked Shoreside Vale right after a drop in the ocean. And now, the last few missions are gonna be taken from Asuka. Ooh. Okay, that was very impressive. I'm surprised I'm not dead or something. I am surprised. First and foremost, I'm surprised that I did manage not to flip my Banshee over. But yeah, this happens like all the time. But don't worry, guys. You can get lucky and just manage to save your car. Just like I did. But yeah, first mission from Asuka, the construction site is coming up, which is bait, and you would suddenly think of the G-bait emote on Twitch. So feel free to spam them in chat if you want that. If you want to bring some G-baiting vibe in the stream, Kappa. But yeah, what is bait, you wonder? I'm actually gonna let Pedro talk once again.
Sure. Bait is okay. So the cartel wants Claude, and when he's driving through Shoreside Rail, they're going to be parked in unmarked cars of sorts and basically hiding in plain sight. And Claude knows this. He has a scoop on this, and he's essentially going to drive past them and lure them to a compound where the Yakuza are waiting, and the Yakuza are going to kill them, obviously because they believe that the cartel are the ones who killed Kenji, as I was saying earlier. And yeah, that's pretty much the mission. It can be quite annoying casually, but from a speedrunner's brain, we know the route here, and the mission's pretty straightforward. There can be a little bit of RNG involved in terms of how quickly the Yakuza shoot the car once you get to the compound, but for the most part, the mission is basically just a straightforward drive, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I would say.
There's also a very, in addition, there's also a very risky strat for this mission, which is not really done. Right. Yeah, it's not really done in Definitive Edition because you'd mostly want to have a car at most times, I guess, to be like safe and all of that. However, if you can pull it off, then that's great. It saves a lot of valuable time. But yeah, I'm not going for it because it's such a tedious strat. And if you would want world record in like the original title, then you'd have to go for it. Mandatory. Very, very interesting speedrun strat, to say the least. But yeah, we're not gonna do the dodo strats for bait. Essentially, what you're doing, so basically, you get the dodo from mid throughout Grand Theft Auto, and then if you manage to keep the dodo alive, like throughout the rest of the mission, you can get back to Donald's building, then go back to the construction site, and once you start bait, you can actually use the dodo to go like above the sentinels that these Colombian cartels are like spawned in, and you can like lure them from above. The trigger for triggering them is quite big, I would say. Now we're gonna wait in this particular spot in an alleyway, and yeah, the first car just got blown up. I'm gonna wait on the other two. Last one is quite slow, but yeah, it's very unfortunate. But yeah, we're gonna wait. Don't mind waiting here at all. They're gonna reverse, you can already tell. And they usually do that, obviously. Oh, they didn't even reverse. Wow, okay. Thank you, Yakuza family, for helping me. Look at his face, bro.
Bro.
I never get to analyze NPCs like this up close. And the reason why I blow up this very last car with an RPG is because normally the cartel here are represented by like a purple marker. Yeah, I was looking for marker there for a sec on the map. But once they get to the ambush spot where the Yakuza are at to ambush them and all of that jazz, the markers become green, and that means you can. That basically means that you can actually kill them yourself. However, that's not the case for the first two cars that are arriving at the ambush point. Unfortunately. I don't know why is that not the case. This only applies for the last card. Also, John School, hello, welcome in. Thank you for rating shots fired, and also thank you for the good luck as well. Wishing good luck to the other runners. They definitely need it, and we all need the good luck. We need the RNG gods to be with us today because it's marathon day after all. Oh god. My Banshee just blew up.
Just as you say that.
Yep. I just got bad RNG, let's go. I'm gonna look for a fast car, but the chances of having a Banshee spawn on these roads here are like millions to one. So yeah, I'm most likely not gonna get one, so I'm just basically gonna get this Yakuza Stinger for the next mission, which is Espresso to go. And what we're doing here, there's basically like, yeah, there's exactly 9 Espresso to go stalls around Liberty City. And we need to blow them all up because each and every one of these stalls contain a cartel member. And these cartel members are selling spank on the streets of Liberty City. Therefore, we're just gonna, you know, blow them up and yeah, we're gonna take care of them. We're gonna stop the distribution of spank like as soon as possible because spank is bad for kids, you know. But why am I saying kids? Basically, if you listen to the Chatterbox radio, there is this person who calls a Chatterbox, which is a talk radio station by Laszlo. He tells him that when he was a kid, he had a nanny who would used to like spank him, and that means actually like drug him, which is terrible. Also, for some reason, I don't know why, but I skipped this stall for a bit.
I think you're a bit incorrect on your lore there, Chirp. I think that's just a play on words, because the spank drug itself is new, as Salvatore says in one of the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'll take your word for it because you're more familiar with the lore than I do, or more knowledgeable with it. That's why I let you do the lore stuff as well. Remember?
No,
you're like my go-to-go guy when it comes to stories and games and stuff. But yeah, there's hold on a sec. So before I let Spencer talk once again, there's 9 stalls, like I said, around Liberty City. There's 5 in Staten Island, 2 in Portland, and 2 in Shoreside Vale. But what we're doing now is we're gonna take care of, or we just have taken care of like the first 5 stalls in Staten Island. And right now, we're gonna go on the Callahan Bridge and go back to Portland because, yeah, we have 2 stalls like previously mentioned. We're also gonna despawn more traffic here because it's quite annoying. Actually, I don't even need to despawn traffic because I can just stay on the middle here and I don't care much about the cars at all. But we're gonna start despawning cars from this point on once again. And yeah, this despawning vehicles technique is very useful in like the underground tunnel sections where we basically like have a bunch of cars at all times. Cars which you would normally not be able to like despawn in the original game, but you can prevent cars from despawning by just having the drive-by camera angle like this. You just hold the drive-by button at all times and you prevent cars from spawning. I almost flipped over there, but I managed to save my car. We're gonna go on this hill once again because this last stall is in front of Salvatore's mansion. And normally after we kill Salvatore, St. Mark's Bistro becomes a very dangerous area because these mafia dudes can carry shotguns and yeah, essentially if you visit St. Mark's Bistro at any point in time, you're gonna get destroyed so hard by these mafia, not soldiers, but mafia dudes, I like to call them. But for some reason, I mean, it makes sense that on this particular mission, these mafia dudes never carry shotguns. They only have like Uzis and pistols. And it's for the purpose to actually make this mission a bit easier because, yeah, you wouldn't want to get blown up at all times by these shotgun mafia dudes.
Yeah.
We're gonna despawn some traffic in the underground tunnels, like mentioned. Oh yeah, Feather, you wanted to say something, but I didn't let you. I'm very sorry for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to point out, casually, this mission is more than a minor annoyance. Because, as you can see on the map, it doesn't actually tell you where any of these stalls are. And casually, they will only, well, in the game, they will only pop up when you get close to them. Obviously, like, in the speedrun route, we know where they all are, so we don't have to worry about that. But casually, you have to do this mission at least a few times, and it's very, very frustrating the first time around. The first few times around casually is frustrating, actually, I would say, because obviously you're not going to memorize it each time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Quite a difficult mission from a casual perspective, but not too bad here.
Yeah, I mean, speedrunning wise, it's pretty straightforward. You just drive to like multiple locations where you blow up cartel members. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually gonna swap vehicles because my current vehicle is like smoking really hard, and I wouldn't drive a trusty vehicle around town, obviously, because yeah, I would obviously get myself killed. Therefore, I'm just gonna switch cars, just like this. You have another Infernus. Infernus is basically like the fastest vehicle in the game if you drive in like a straight line, I believe. So that's the only way you can achieve like the top speed. Unless there's some other way, but I highly doubt it. But I don't normally drive an Infernus because I think it's quite, I mean, it's very slow when like turning around or like making turns around, and yeah, you're just slow. You would want a Banshee at all times to like have consistent speed. But yeah, that was Espresso to go. Pretty straightforward. Fortunately, I did not die, so that's a plus. And now we're gonna go back to the construction site to do one last mission for Asuka, which is SAM, or SAM, because it actually has dots in between the letters, so it's S.A.M. And yeah, if you wish to talk about the mission, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so SAM is, this, unlike Espresso to go, this is a mission where the speedrun strat is actually easier than the casual strat. Oh, and probably cutting the grass, but so essentially what's going to happen is he's going to start the mission from Asuka, and the game's going to tell Chirp to drive to the secondary dock in Portland, where there's a boat waiting, and then you would usually take that boat to the edge of the runway, and you would stand in the boat and use your RPG to destroy the plane as it's coming in for a landing. It's a very awkward shot casually, believe me. Enough practice, it probably wouldn't be too bad, but yeah. In the speedrun though, we go straight to the airport. We pick off a few of the cartel that are kind of... What's happening here?
I'm just choking on purpose.
A few of the cartel that hang around the runway and whatnot. And then we can just wait for the plane to come in for a landing, destroy it on the runway so we don't have to line up for an awkward shot, and collect its packages of spank that it drops. And yeah, that's pretty much the mission. It's not too bad, especially if you've done the 30k rocket strat, but for me personally at least, because I don't do that, sometimes you can have quite limited RPG ammo, and sometimes the plane just kind of absorbs your RPG bullets. It can be very frustrating, but for Chirp here, he should be absolutely fine.
Oh yeah, and in addition, would you like to describe the SAM dam strat, or should I go ahead and do it?
No, sure, that's fine. In the original game, there is something called I think it's called dam strat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, runners call it dam strat, I believe.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
What that is you can get the dodo from the previous mission before this. Wait, can you? Oh,
Yeah, you can.
The runners would normally keep the dodo anyway. And
No, they don't. They don't keep the dodo because they use it like at the beginning of Espresso to go to like Portland.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
grab
Right, my bad.
they grab a banshee from that garage next to.
You grab it after Espresso
Fables.
to go. That's it. My bad. Yeah. So you grab that, and basically what happens is you fly to the Cochrane Dam, which is in Shoreside Vale, and you land your dodo on that dam. And if you go to one of the
amazing
little
dodo.
like huts, I guess they're not huts. I don't know what they're called, which are just like
It's like a small pier, but not really. I don't know.
Yeah, let's just call them piers. You go to one of the piers, and it's a very precise lineup, but if you time it just right, you can shoot your RPG at a very specific time, and that will blow up the plane when it flies over before it gets to the airport, and then you can collect all the packages off of the dam. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, this isn't consistent in the Definitive Edition, and a lot of the time your packages can just go into the water, so we don't do the strat. But I think even if it was possible in the Definitive Edition, we probably wouldn't yet anyway, because it's not needed, and it's just a very awkward strat even in the original.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what runners used to do. Or, well, still do. Most people still run the original game, but Definitive Edition is quite a fun run too. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much. Let's say that the Definitive Edition is a much easier and fun run than the original Grand Theft Auto 3 because OG GTA 3 has a lot of duping. The run itself is very complicated, I would say. It's probably one of the hardest runs out there. That's why I run GTA 3 Definitive Edition in the first place, because I have the luxury to play at 60 FPS. I have better controls. Who the hell is this guy? He did not die from the explosion. Oh yeah, 60 FPS, better controls, and yeah, but one disadvantage is that, you know, the lack of bugs that are present in the first patch, because I'm running on one of the first patches, like Feather said, and you know, it's quite annoying, I would say, to still have these bugs with you. I can't really play on like one of the later patches because, oh god, the game won't capture for me in OBS for some reason. I don't know what's the deal, but yeah, yeah, I don't know why. Oh god, I almost died.
This could be really... Ooh. Okay, well done.
I was actually sweaty. I should have been in my car at this point and collect those packages, but I'm gonna collect them on foot. I don't mind. I usually do this anyway. Right, so what we're doing now is we're collecting 8 packages containing Spank, and then we're gonna make one last visit to the construction site, where we are gonna leave the Spank off at, and yeah, we're gonna be getting ourselves a little of a surprise, I would say. If you wish to talk about it, I guess you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So what's gonna come up here is basically that there's a lot of police following Chirp right now, and he needs to get pretty much a perfect landing inside of the construction site by flying over some buildings here and getting enough height. If he doesn't do that, then the cops can easily kill him because they get very aggressive, as we talked about earlier. And if he gets a good landing here, he's going to try and pull off a strat that's very difficult to actually execute. The first half's not too bad, and I don't know if he's going to go for the full thing. Are you going to go for the full thing?
I'm going to try my best, yes.
He's going to go for the full thing. Okay, so he got the good landing here, which very nice. That was executed.
It's a decent landing. I wouldn't call it good.
And so what he's going to do here is he needs to go to Catalina's mansion in Cedar Grove of Shoreside Vale, and he's going to use the road here to directly in front of us and to the left to take off. And he can go basically right around and get enough height to land on top of the cliffside, which is where the mansion is. He lands there, starts the mission, and then what he's going to do is he's going to sprint.
What is this takeoff?
No,
dude?
not again, not again.
No, don't say the word again, otherwise the audience will know. Don't talk about it.
Okay.
Don't talk about the past. But yeah.
So I continue describing the strat. After he starts the exchange, which is the final mission of the run, he will sprint out of Catalina's mansion, get back in the dodo, and take off again. And essentially, if he's precise enough, he can fly just low enough and alongside the Cochrane Dam, so where he can hit the triggers. Where like he can hit the triggers for like the cartel and stuff to spawn, and if he does it just right, he can then land his dodo where the helicopter would normally be, which Catalina's going to be in, that we need to blow up. And if he does that, he can then hit the trigger on the stairs by walking over to it. He can then blow up the helicopter after it lands, and or is it after it lands or after it takes off? I'm not quite sure.
So after
and then we
it
go
lands
to
on like the that building.
Yeah, then we go to Maria, and then that's
the run is
finished.
Pretty much done.
But
yeah.
we'll see how he fares here. If he does screw it up, there is. Oh my god! I thought you were gonna hit the collision there.
Finally got a good takeoff, and now I'm quite nervous for this. Like, imagine actually pulling off this strat. It's possible for me to actually do it, but whatever, man. Anything can happen. Gotta pray to the RNG gods. Right, so we're gonna start the exchange, and with the strats that Fedzera explained just now, we're gonna try to pull them off in the best manner that we can. And right as you spawn, there's a dead cartel member that Claude kills in a cutscene, and he has a pistol, and we're gonna get this pistol weapon swap glitch our way out of Catalina's mansion courtyard, and we're gonna try our best to, or I'm gonna try my best to take off from this road. This room is quite annoying.
Oh, nice.
But I've managed, like, the first part, which is nice. Oh boy. Okay.
No.
Let's restart that. Let's restart. That was embarrassing. I'm very sorry. I hope the dodo is still there. It should be in theory.
I think it might have despawned.
Oh, despawned, bro. Oh god.
Yeah.
Well,
right,
I guess
so
I'm not going for the plane strats. Okay, there's an... Yeah. Go ahead.
That's unfortunate, but now we're going to get to see the strat which Churp would normally do at a run at this point. So,
I'm gonna... wait, I'm actually gonna explain this one. So, basically, if you don't do dodo strats for the exchange, you would normally weapon swap glitch your way up until you get to this house, which is Tony Cipriani's safe house in Liberty City Stories. But in this game, it's just like an abandoned house. I mean, it's presumably owned by someone, but we just don't know by whom. And on this particular house, we can find great English. We can find an RPG pickup, and as soon as you pick it up, we're gonna weapon swap glitch our way out of here. Skip this barricade, and then what we're also gonna do is oh wait, I do pick up the sniper here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the sniper. We're gonna use one RPG on this small roadblock with cartel members who have M16s, and then skip these first few guys. We don't need to worry about them. My HP is like quite low, but I should be managing. I'm quite confident that I'll do well. Okay, never mind, 10 HP. Am I gonna die? Place your bets. I don't think I will, but okay, maybe I will. Never mind. I am quite nervous about this. Oh boy. Yeah, I've never had this outcome in like actual runs. This is quite new to me, I would say. Oh boy. Okay, let's hang back. Let's actually sniper this guy. What I would normally do is I would use the RPG to blow up the helicopter early from this point here. But yeah, we're gonna wait for the helicopter to make its cycle back to this location. I'm gonna kill these guys as well, because I don't want to die. And blow this up. Simple as that. And just be careful on this last few guys. My HP is quite low, so I'm actually gonna kill these guys just for safety. Time is also coming up, so as soon as the next fade in triggers, that's time. And this was...
Yeah, there we go, GG.
Yeah, this was Grand Theft Auto 3, the definitive edition, 80%. We also have one last cutscene with two cartel members pointing towards us, because why not? And yeah, this was the run. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun, running this at a marathon. So yeah, but before I have my final words, we have one last cutscene with Claude and Maria just dozing off. I mean, not dozing off, but just walking off into the sunset, presumably. But yeah, what a romantic scene, isn't it? What do you think, Fedor?
Oh, it's lovely. It really is. This is better than any romantic flick that I've ever seen, for sure.
Until one point where this is gonna happen. Just what? We're all gonna be silent here. This is a moment of silence. You guys are gonna be wondering what is gonna happen, unless you have already played this game and you know. But just listen to this. Next 10 seconds, or like 5 seconds, something is gonna happen. Interesting.
I broke a nail and my hair is ruined. I mean, can you believe it? This one cost me $50.
Boom! That was a shotgun blast. And basically what happens there is just that Claude kills his lover. Rip Maria. Press F for Maria in chat. Very unfortunate. A tragic ending for her, I might say. But yeah, some final words before I wrap up. And yeah, oh wait, who's the next runner? Let me check the schedule. I can't believe I've honestly forgot who's the next person running after me. So yeah, good luck to SRGT Silent as well. I don't think what he's running, I haven't checked. But yeah, thank you, Shots Fired, for having me at the marathon. And the fun fact for you guys, this was actually the first speedrunning marathon that I attended. And I'm grateful to be here. 1:27:34 is a very respectful time, considering the fact that I don't really run this game often. But yeah, it's definitely 13 minutes faster than my estimate. I was very generous with my estimate. But, you know, anything can happen in GTA. Is just a bunch of randomness. So yeah, once again, thank you very much, Shots Fired Marathon, for having me run this marvelous game today. If you guys would like to see more Grand Theft Auto 3, DE, or Vice City Definitive Edition speedruns, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Churp64. I also speedrun other games. I mostly do variety speedruns, but nowadays I just mostly focus on GTA 3 and Vice City Definitive Edition. And yeah, Fedzor, do you have any last words before we actually go on to SRGT Silence Run?
Yeah, I just want to say, just like you said, that 1:27 there is a very respectable time, especially considering the fact that this is in a marathon. That is very impressive, and so I give you some GGs on that, friend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to thank Shots Fired for this opportunity, and as Chirp said, I've had a lot of fun. I want to thank everyone in chat for being here today. If anyone's interested to see any more content from me, I run this game myself on a Twitch channel called Vexera Nation. I don't stream on my personal channel, which is Fedzor TV, but that's the channel anyway if you're interested. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's going to be it for us. Just thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed.
Yep, and this is how we end the marathon, with a marvelous ocean death. Take it away to the next runner, and thank you once again, Shots Fired. I also thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Show some support to SRGT Silent because his run is coming up. And yeah, see you there. Peace out.